The 2020 version of the HP Spectre x360 15 is the best large-screen 2-in-1 you can buy, if you like a big convertible laptop. Most 2-in-1s are smaller than this one, letting you hold them in your hand to use them as a tablet. You can do that with the Spectre x360, but because it's a 15.6-inch model, you won't want to hold it for long. It's better off used on a desk or table most of the time. You can rotate the Spectre x360's screen into the usual 2-in-1 modes. Flip the machine into presentation mode with the keyboard down, or into tent mode with the keyboard up. It's also practical in airline coach or in the back of a car where you may not be able to fully unfold a notebook this size. The model we looked at for review is what HP calls Nightfall Black, with some nice copper accents. You can also get it in a color scheme called Poseidon Blue, which has brass accents. We like how HP cut the rear corners of the chassis at an angle. One of those corners has a Thunderbolt 3 port on it, which you can use for data transfers or to charge the laptop. However, if you want to operate your machine at full speed, you'll have to use the included power adapter to get around Thunderbolt 3's electrical current limits. The other corner has the power button, which is a smart place to put it, so you don't hit it by accident when you're using the Spectre folded as a tablet. Because it has a big 15.6-inch screen, the Spectre has room for a good mix of ports. It has another Thunderbolt 3 port, a micro SD card slot, and a fast USB 3.2 Gen 2 port. The Gen 2 USB port is good for 10 GB per second data transfers if you have a cutting-edge external SSD. The Spectre even has a kill switch that cuts off the webcam for Windows 10 entirely. No need to put masking tape over your camera lens. The biggest deal about the Spectre, though, is its spectacular screen, which in our test model uses AMOLED technology. It's a 4K screen, that's 3840 by 2160 pixels, that also supports touch input. You have to see an AMOLED screen to understand just how stunning it looks. Because the pixels in an AMOLED screen generate their own light rather than using a supplemental backlight, when the black pixels are off, they are completely off, with no light leakage. That means super deep black tones and amazing contrast. It's hard to take your eyes off this screen, and HP also includes controls for creative pros to switch among the important color spaces, such as sRGB, Adobe RGB, and DCI P3. We were also really impressed by the screen's anti-glare treatment, which makes the Gorilla Glass surface resist both reflections and fingerprint smears. We also like the backlit keyboard. Because this is a 15.6-inch notebook, you have room here for a big touchpad and a full number pad, which don't feel cramped. The keys feel snappy as you type them. Our test model has a fingerprint reader for quick logins to Windows 10. Apart from the AMOLED screen, the other thing that really sets the Spectre x360 apart is the raw performance. Most 2-in-1s use Intel's U-series core processors, which are fine for everyday productivity work. The Spectre is special though, because you can get it with one of the company's higher-end 6-core H-series chips from its 10th generation Comet Lake H family. This is the kind of chip you'll usually see only in big power laptops, like the Dell XPS 15, in mobile workstations, or in gaming machines. That processor comes along with a dedicated NVIDIA GeForce GTX chip, the GTX 1650 Ti. The GTX 1650 Ti is a very decent low-end graphics chip. With it, you can play plenty of games on the machine at 1080p, though not so much at 4K. The thing to be aware of, though, is that HP's cheaper versions of the Spectre x360 can come with a completely different kind of CPU. HP's $1399 base model of this machine comes with a quad-core 11th generation Tiger Lake CPU, and without the GeForce chip. We've tested a few Tiger Lake laptops. The performance is fine for everyday use, and they have decent graphics performance too. But these versions lack the GeForce chip. You'll want to be aware of what exactly is in the Spectre you are buying. In our tests, the Comet Lake Core i7 in our test unit performed quite well, outpacing 2-in-1s based on Intel U-series CPUs. The extra processor cores also helped with our media processing tests. We also tested the machine with a few AAA PC games and found that you should be able to get playable frame rates with most titles at 1080p. That said, don't think of this as a gaming laptop, it's too expensive for that. Look at the gaming as a nice side benefit if you go with one of the versions with the GeForce GTX 1650 Ti. As for the battery life, that's one of the few disappointments. The 4K AMOLED screen, the powerful 45-watt CPU, and the GeForce chip in our test unit combined to keep battery life under 8 hours in our testing. That's fine for a day's work, assuming you keep a charging cable handy. Overall, the Spectre x360 is the best of its kind. You won't find any 2-in-1s with this big a screen, and you won't find any others with an AMOLED screen, a GeForce chip, and a high-power CPU like this one. If what you're looking for is a powerful 2-in-1 for creative work with the best and brightest screen possible, this is your ideal convertible.